Trump. Or gonna be waiting me with now you talk and with by yourself. We tell you it's okay.
And making sense of it can be hard.
Kayode, I will let you talk. Kayode, I will let you talk if you let me talk. Kayode.
But that's my job. Let's talk context. Let's talk statistics.
Talk about those bills at the Senate right now.
Let's talk to the experts and the newsmakers.
I see the kind of stability that would allow growth to happen by this time next year.
Every weekday at 3.
Good afternoon. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili.
Let's talk hard facts.
Hello, Lagos. Good afternoon. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. Yes, hoping that you had a fantastic weekend. I spent my weekend doing what I do most weekends, watching bad TV shows. So I'm hoping you had a better weekend than I did. You did something with your family. You did something that did not involve you leaving your house. Meanwhile, I'd like to start today's show by showing huge appreciation for the Rapid Response Team here in Lagos, Rapid Response Squad here in Lagos. I saw a post on social media over the weekend about this young man who had an asthma attack, and they did something great for that young man. They helped him find an inhaler, and they gave him his medication, and they stayed with him to make sure that he was okay. And when he was fully recovered, they helped. And you hear all sorts of stories like that about the Lagos Rapid Response Squad. And so when you hear good things, you also talk about it to encourage them to, keep doing good things. There was also a story about this woman who was being beat up by her husband. And they tried to call, her neighbors tried to call the Rapid Response Squad. Nobody was picking up. But eventually the Rapid Response Squad picked up and called back. They didn't pick up, sorry, they returned the call. And then they sent somebody over to come and take care of that situation. So it was pretty impressive, for me. When I heard that, it was pretty impressive. And I'd just like to say a big thank you to them. In the light of thank you, I'll also like to recognize Monday Obani. Today's his birthday. So happy birthday, Barrister Monday Obani. Here's wishing you many more fabulous years. All right, Lagos. Nigeria has now confirmed over 40,000 COVID-19 cases. Yes, the news cannot stay good. As of last night, the official count was 40,532. That's because we added 555 cases nationwide yesterday. So I need you to please take care of yourself. Take all the precautions because the virus is still spreading, and the virus is not spreading by itself. You are spreading the virus. I don't want any of you, any of my 630,000 listeners to get it and spread it. All right? The only thing I need you spreading is the word about hard facts. Don't keep us to yourself. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your colleagues, tell your neighbors, all of them to tune in, especially because at 5 o'clock today, we're going to be talking to the spokesperson for JAM. So if you're a student, if you have a student in your house, if you are planning to write JAM this year, please tune in at 5. We're going to be having a conversation with the spokesperson for JAM. Now, we're going to start, as always, with the big three. Let's talk about an LCDA here in Lagos charging POS agents a new weekly levy. Then we're going to talk about NIPOST. If you were paying attention over the weekend, you saw NIPOST in the news. They're increasing license fees for logistics operators. And the supervising minister said that they don't have a right to do it. And then let's talk about the Third Mainland Bridge. This is the first Monday since it closed. We're going to talk about how it has affected you and what Governor Sanwo-Olu says the state government is doing to make life easier. On today's checkpoint, we'll talk about robberies. Robberies in traffic are on the rise. Chukwudi is going to look at the factors behind it and what's being done about it. It's probably going to get worse because traffic will get worse because the Third Mainland Bridge is closed and lots of roads in Lagos are currently undergoing construction. It's a conversation you want to have with Chukwudi at 4 o'clock. Like I said, at 5, we'll have a conversation with JAM, right? They have announced that the first choice and second choice admissions process will start a month from now. So we're going to talk about, if they no follow us, they see this COVID, what would they see? How is COVID-19 affecting all of that, affecting the admissions process? You're going to get news updates at the top of every hour, and we'll bring you just a minute as well. So you need to listen to every single minute of the show so that you catch it when it comes your way. But let's get started with the big three.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three.
On Hard Facts.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Should local governments be charging POS agents levies? Should NIPOS be regulating its fellow logistics operators? And how is the Third Mainland Bridge closure affecting you? Those are the big three. Let's talk. Our first story is a new levy on POS agents. You've seen them sprouting all over Lagos. If you've not seen them, if you've not used them, you've definitely seen their signs as you drive or you walk along, right? They tell you POS here, withdrawal, right? These businesses basically let people withdraw money from them using their card, just like an ATM. Or they let you pay money into an account. It's agency banking, basically. And now, LCDAs are making them pay a levy to operate. One LCDA at least. Maybe today we'll find out there are others doing the same thing. This LCDA is Agbado Keodo. I hope I'm saying it correctly, but if I'm not, Tina is going to help me say the correct, pronounce it correctly. But it's an LCDA in Alimosho local government area. If you're watching us online, you can see right now on your screen a notice that the LCDA sent to all POS agent operators. If you're watching on Facebook, 99.3, Nigeria Info FM 99.3, or on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM, you're seeing the notice that they sent to all POS agent operators. From now on, they have to pay a 600 naira per week levy to the LCDA through a company listed in that order. Now, we have one of the affected POS agents from the LCDA on the show, Tina Taiwo. Thank you for talking to us on Hard Facts. Hello, Tina. Hello, Tina.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tina. Thanks for joining us on Hard Facts.
Thank you.
Yes. So first of all, talk to us about your business. What services do you provide?
Oh, okay. We'll provide withdrawals, cash deposit. We do account opening too. We pay bills like NEPA bills, airtime purchase, and all that. Some of the ATM, some of the POS does insurance and all that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So some of the POS does insurance and all of that. How long have you been operating?
I've been operating for 3 years.
For 3 years. When and how did you find out about this new levy?
Oh, the levy, the circular was shared on the 15th of July. Some weeks ago, we got the circular. They said we'll start paying a levy of 600 naira weekly. That failure to do so, our shops and kiosks, our business places will be locked up, and we'll have to pay 5,000 naira before they can reopen. Yes.
I see. What happened next? Did people pay? Did people not pay? Tell me what happened next.
No, nobody paid. We did not pay. It's not possible for us to pay such amount of money. That's amounting to about 2,400 naira monthly. It's not. We could not pay. So no one paid. And the deadline for payment was for 25th of July, which was on Saturday.
And when nobody paid, what happened?
Yeah, on Saturday, 25th, some task force came to harass some POS owners around Agbado.
Okay.
So they harassed them, seized their POS, seized some banners and all that. They harassed a whole lot of people anyway.
Okay. Was anybody hurt?
No, nobody was hurt.
Okay. Did they damage property? Did they damage business?
They almost damaged a kiosk, but for the interventions of passerby. So they went away with some POS machines and some banners.
I see. Now, before this new levy, Tina, what and what did you have to do to register your business? What else have you paid before? What forms did you fill?
Okay, thank you. Before getting a POS, you pay a huge sum depending on the service provider.
Okay.
There was one I bought for 85,000 naira. I bought some for 30,000 naira. So you start from there. When you buy your POS, there are some that you have to pay some deposit, which we did.
Okay.
So after that, when you get your shop or your kiosk, you pay your trade permit, some 3,000 naira. TV radio tax, I pay 5,000 naira.
Okay.
Extension levy, shop extension levy, I can't remember how much I pay for that.
Okay.
Signboard and advertisement fee, I paid 2,000 naira.
Okay.
So that's what. And apart from before this levy came, the service provider charges, there is a particular amount
Okay.
that they charge on every transaction.
Okay.
Apart from that, we still pay stamp duty. 50 naira, anything above 10,000 naira, they will deduct stamp duty, 50 naira.
Okay.
So we pay all those. Bringing 600 naira again to add to them, I don't think they want to support youth and unemployment in the country.
What are your profit margins like? Because I'm asking that because people are listening and they're like, ordinary 600 naira per week. It doesn't sound like a lot of money.
Yes, it really does not sound like a lot of money, but it is. Profit margin in this business is very low. It's very low because, let me give you an example.
Please.
When you are withdrawing 10,000 naira from a POS machine, the POS provider will charge you 65 naira. And when you are withdrawing 10,000 naira, you charge the customer who wants to withdraw that 10,000 naira. You charge the person 200 naira. So when you charge 200 naira and the service provider deducts 65 naira instantly from that 200 naira, and bank would charge you 50 naira stamp duty as soon as the 10,000 naira drops into the account. 550 naira will be deducted. So imagine 65 naira and 50 naira from 200 naira. And do you know that most of these POS, all POS use this data. We run on data. You always have your data on 24 hours. That aside, you buy papers, POS papers. We buy some for about 2,000 naira. It depends on the number, the row you want to buy. You understand? So when you calculate all this with the charges and all that, you see there is no profit, and you still pay your staff, because most of us who have kiosks and points all over the place, we pay our staff. You pay them nothing less than 12,000-15,000 naira. So you see, the profit margin is so low.
And when you pay 600 every week, do the math again for me. Every month, what does that come up to?
2,400 naira.
Okay. All right, Tina Taiwo. We're going to have this conversation some more tomorrow, and we'll have to call you out there in Agbado, Okeodo. Can you say the name for me, please?
Yes. Agbado, Okeodo. We were there today.
Oh, okay.
We were there as an association.
Okay. All right.
We were there. We went to protest today.
Okay. What did the protest yield?
Yes, they said it will be on hold for now. That no tax force will harass us. That there will be a renegotiation. That we'll have to pay something.
Who said that it will be on hold for now?
We've met with the chairman
of the local government.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Okay, so you met with him, and he said it will be on hold for now.
Yes, that it will be on hold. That they will get back to us to tell us their new levy and all that. And we told them we don't want it to be weekly.
Okay.
We want it to be annually. So the harassment would not, you understand? Because these people, they just take it for granted and do all sorts of things.
All right. So let me be clear. So you protested this. You went to the local government chairman. You told him we're not willing to pay a weekly levy, but we're willing to pay an annual levy.
Yes, but it will not be 600 naira weekly.
Okay. Did you agree on a price?
No, they said they will get back to us within 1 week.
Within 1 week. Okay. Let me also ask, yes, how much are you willing to pay annually? And what is this levy supposed to do for you people?
I can't say for now because as an association, we've not said anything concerning how much. We really don't want to pay, but if they want to, maybe if they give us something reasonable, maybe we'll agree.
You'll agree.
But for now,
what is the local government saying that this money is for? What will this money do? What are they going to use it to do?
That is just revenue generation. It's just a means of generating revenue.
I see. Okay. All right, Tina Taiwo, thank you so much for talking to us on Nigeria Info.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Lagos, you've heard from Tina. Now I want to hear from you. She's a POS agent. By the way, we're working on getting somebody from the LCDA or the local government or the state government to speak with us on record. And we're going to keep following up this story until we do. Remember, Chukudi is going to be covering this story on Community U Report tomorrow. But what do you think so far about this thing that's going on? We've seen that government at all levels is looking for new revenue streams. What do you think about this particular one? Do you think that this is a fair assessment, or do you think they should leave this particular business since its services for financial inclusion serves, more Nigerians? The service is trying to include more and more Nigerians into the financial system. And what do you think about a local government creating such a new levy, seemingly on its own, to generate revenue? 0700-993-993-993. You can also send us a WhatsApp message. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. And of course, there is Facebook where you can leave your thoughts. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. You can also see the what's it called now for yourself. It's up there at the moment. You can see the notice that was sent to the LCDA. To send by the LCDA to all the POS agents. Let's talk to Nonye first. Hello, Nonye.
Hello.
Thanks for
Sandra.
calling. Yes.
How are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine. Sandra, I see this our government. You see this our people. We are very wicked. When I say wicked, wicked. Anything they don't see that is fetching money, they will find way to destroy it. Why? Ezekwesili, are you there?
I'm here. I'm listening to you. Yes. Why?
Is it good? Is it good? Do they want the youth to thief or steal or commit suicide or murder? Which one do they want? For me, I would just advise them to stop it. Let me see the way let me see what will happen.
Okay. Let's see what will happen. Nonya says 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for calling. What's your name?
Info.
Yes, Nigeria Info. What's your name?
Emmanuel. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Emmanuel.
Yeah. I want to talk on the issue of actually POS, hearing from the woman what she has said, that they pay advert, they pay for lock-up shop, they pay for other things. I think that is a maybe enough. I don't know why they have to charge them extra money. Hence, they pay the network provider and other things. So what is this particular money for? Is it for local government, putting up? I don't know. I don't understand. So what I'm saying is this. The money the local government is charging, they are trying to weigh down the business of the young one, the young business that's coming up. Because if they are to charge the lock-up shop, you have your kiosk, they charge you for that, they charge you for your business you are doing, and they say for advert and other things. Then why charging for this? To me, I would say the charges is not fair. It's not fair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for calling. Uday Victor on Twitter says the LCDA doesn't want to tax the POS operators, but the poor masses in Lagos State. The POS will definitely pass it on to the customers. The kind of tax people pay in Lagos makes me wonder if Lagos is a different country. Ajayi is on the line. He's in Mushin. Hello, Ajayi.
Hello.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you. Yes, concerning these people living at Agbado Kuru doing the POS, I think they have started getting it wrong.
Okay.
They don't need to agree on any price with the government.
Okay.
Because any price they agree, if this is going to be put back to their customers. And if a local government succeeded in doing that, others will join. So I don't think they're going to agree on any levy at all.
Okay.
They have already got so many things they are paying to the government, to all these agents where they got everything. So why must they agree with the local government to be paying another added tax again? They don't need to agree at all. But once local government or LCDA succeed now, other people will take them.
Other people will join in. All right. Thank you, Ajayi, for calling me. 99.3. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
This is Femi Viper.
Welcome. Oh, hi, Femi. Welcome.
Good. I'm good. How about you?
Good. Good to talk to you.
Yeah. The thing is, the woman, if she listens to me from Badu Kyodo, I just want her to, she and her colleagues, they should stop the whole levy of the thing.
Okay.
Because they're trying to test the waters. Because if it comes to fruition, they will enact the same thing everywhere in Lagos State. And it's going to come back on be using the POS. Because the banks are quite far from where people stay. The automated selling machines are quite far. So instead of me taking 200 or 300 naira to the nearest ATM to withdraw, I don't give the POS vendor 100 naira, 150 to make my withdrawal and I go back inside my house. You understand it? They are taxing everything taxable in Lagos State. Could you believe that women that carry pure water and soft drinks on their head in the market, you know they tax them also? Do you know that? Women, those guys that push a wheelbarrow, those guys they sell oranges, you know they collect money from them also in the market.
Well, they're selling. So I mean, when you're selling, you should pay tax. Because those people are part of the informal economy. They're probably going to pay a lower tax than people who earn a salary or who own shops, but they should also pay tax.
It's quite different, but this one is Owamo boys. Let me use that word in quotes.
Okay, what does that mean?
Owamo boys, so.
What's Owamo? What does that mean? What does Owamo boys mean?
No, this one is money for the boys.
Oh, I see.
Legal.
This money is not going into the pocket of the government.
It's not going to the pocket of the government at all. It's Owamo boys. Do you understand now? So the same thing the LCDA is trying to do in Adodo Kyodo is Owamo boys also. It's not legal. You get? They just arranged some certain guys together, some bunch of miscreants, and began to have, because if these guys would concord to what they want to do, they enact everything in Lagos State. So I beg them. The one the woman was saying that they will come to a reasonable fee with them. I beg her, because the ripple effect is going to come back down on we. The 100 and 200 we were paying before for so small charges, it will escalate and become 300 and 400. Thank you very much, Sandra, for the good work you do.
Thank you so much, Femi, for calling. See you on Twitter. All right, Lagos. I will take more of your thoughts on Facebook and Twitter, and also WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Let's talk some more about licensing and levies, shall we?
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three on Hard Facts
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, Lagos, our second story takes us from LCDA's charging levies to federal agencies charging license fees. NIPOST caught a lot of heat over the weekend when they announced new fees for logistics operators to get and renew their licenses. Sorry for the grammar. Logistics operators are people who move goods, right? They move goods, they move parcels. So the guy that delivers your food on a bike if you order food online or carries a letter from your office, those people, they are logistics operators. Under the law, NIPOST regulates them. And NIPOST has decided that they need licenses to operate. Fair enough. But the wahala now is the cost of those licenses. So there are different categories of license that determine how widely the company can operate. Now, let me give you the costs. The lowest one is the municipal license. That one allows you to operate in one local government area. It now costs 1 million naira to get the license. Next is the state license. To operate across the whole Lagos, for example, 2 million naira. Then there's regional. To operate across, say, the southwest, the license is 5 million naira. Then national license, also D, that one at 10 million naira. International license, 20 million naira. And for each of these licenses, yearly renewal is 40%. So 400K for municipal, 800 for state, 2 million for regional, 4 million for national, 8 million for international. So yeah, as you can imagine, the logistics operators are not pleased with this new fee regime. But they're not alone. A lot of Nigerians on social media are protesting. They don't like the fees because they fear the operators will have to raise delivery charges to make up for the money, just like Femi called into the show and said. And that means that everybody will pay more. And now you have to understand that ever since COVID-19 hit and the lockdowns started, more and more businesses are relying on logistics companies to deliver for them. So many of us now, when we buy stuff, we have it delivered. It's not just for online buying anymore, even over the phone. So there's a fear that this license hike will affect the economy as a whole. There's also a fear that it will discourage a lot of people from coming into the logistics business or force the smaller players out of the business. I mean, how many people can afford the extra 1 million naira upfront for the licenses? Now, NIPOST has responded to all of that heat. They said that the new rules they announced, including the fees, are meant to ensure that only serious business people enter the market. They said they want to discourage fraudsters. But some critics say that raising the fees is not the best way to check seriousness. Instead, they should do due diligence and background checks on people who apply. After all, somebody can be serious about the business but not have an extra 1 million to pay for license, Abi? Because remember, these people have already bought motorcycle. And then there's the question of conflict of interest. Remember I said that NIPOST is the one imposing these fees because by law, they are the regulator of the logistics and delivery sector. But guess what? NIPOST is also a logistics operator. They also provide logistics services to the public and they charge for it. So basically, they are setting rules for their competitors. And I've spoken to economists about this. I've spoken to lawyers about this. And they are all telling me, all of them, that it is unusual or even unethical for an operator in a sector to be the regulator. Because it allows them to set rules that cripple their competitors. And you have to wonder if that's what's happening here. Is NIPOST using its power as regulator to cripple its competitors? Let me read something to you. Quote, the global best practice is that NIPOST cannot be a regulator of courier operators and at the same time operating a courier business. We must not sacrifice the interests of Nigerians because the post belongs to Nigerians. End quote. You know who said that? The then CEO of NIPOST, Adebisi Adegbi. This was in 2018. He said that in 2018. So just 2 years ago, the Postmaster General, the CEO of NIPOST, was saying, nah, it's not fair for us to regulate and operate at the same time. In fact, NIPOST was supporting a bill called the Postal Reform Bill that was supposed to remove their power to regulate. That was one of the bills that President Buhari did not sign before the 8th Assembly ended. And that bill expired. And that's why till today, NIPOST is still the regulator. Meanwhile, Issa Pantami, the NIPOST, the minister, he said NIPOST should come on, remove that license fee. That's the Minister for Communications and Digital Economy. Come on, remove it, he said. His ministry supervises NIPOST. And he says that he never approved this new license fee regime. And he said this on Twitter. Remember, I told you that the protests were happening on social media. And Pantami came there, fired off tweets at NIPOST, telling them to withdraw the license fees. And raised a lot of questions. First of all, is it even possible that NIPOST announced such fees without his approval? I mean, I still didn't get my reach. Or was the minister simply trying to distance himself? And the second question was, did the minister have to come online to shout at NIPOST? Surely he has the Postmaster General's WhatsApp number. Or isn't there an official channel for writing to warn the guy? But anyway, we're still waiting to hear from NIPOST, hear what they have to say in response to the minister. I've reached out to the spokesperson for NIPOST, and he hasn't gotten back to me. Hopefully he does get back to me. And we're going to have this conversation in full tomorrow, right? So tomorrow at 3, I'm going to have guests on the show. We'll make it a big 3 in 1. So if you cannot get involved in the conversation today, tomorrow at 3, join us. But for now, what do you have to say? You know, what do you have to say to me? What do you think about these new fees? Do you think they're too high? What effect do you think they're going to have on the logistics business or on the vendors who rely on it, on you and I who are the consumers? What do you think about NIPOST being both competitor and regulator? Do you think that's an unfair advantage? Do you think it's ethical? And what do you think about Issa Pantami saying that NIPOST did this thing without his approval? And coming to Twitter to say it. We've got Remy Nakoka on the line. Hello, Remy.
Hi, Sandra.
Good to have you on the show.
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah. Okay, the first topic you tweeted. If the one is listening, I think it is wrong for them to agree with the government, local government, on the terms of paying an annual fee. It is wrong because the moment they get through with that, as in, I trust this because the government, they will be down to the local government and it will become a norm. So, it's funny how Mr. Pantani always come out to deny being on a list of qualifications as the one we are presently. He came out to deny the issue he had with Abike Daduri. Are you telling me as a minister, you're given a document and you never vetted the document and you signed it? Because you're not telling us you're any part of that. You're giving a document of something that is about to come up and you're telling us you're not aware of this. I think this country is just structured to fail the citizens. The process they came up with, the protocols they are coming up with, meant to destroy businesses. Because how can you tell an Okada man or a business owner come up with a $1 million licensing? That is crazy. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. We've got Afiz on the line. Afiz, hello.
Yeah?
Thanks for calling. Go ahead. You're live on the show.
Yeah. As per these POS things, I think this Tina Taiwo, should I get it?
Tina Taiwo.
It will be better for them not to agree.
Okay.
Firstly, those local governments, how many work did they create for them? The youth are there outside doing nothing, and they are finding a way to create job for themselves. They just want a way to extol them, to just collect something from them. They pay some bill to them. So it's no need for them to agree on anything at all. They should not agree for yearly, neither yearly, quarterly, monthly. They should not agree. Because once they agree, it's spread across all the LCDA in Lagos. And concerning the NIPOs, I think it's wrong for the NIPOs. Because right from the onset, people have been saying NIPO should not be a regulator as well be a competitor. They just want to cover their own side, or better way to make people out of to force people out of the system. That's my own contribution.
Afiz, thank you for calling to make it. We've got Ndubeze from Ojodu who says, Sandra, a child will always behave like his father or mother. The state and local government agents are just emulating the federal government, and very soon we're going to pay for going to toilet, drinking water, blackout, brushing teeth, calling Nigeria info, trekking to work, entering public transport. This government is looking for a way to destroy Nigerians because it is still the poor masses that will bear these charges. But we're actually supposed to pay tax. Taxes are things that we're supposed to pay. The question is just how much taxes, and what are these taxes doing for us? I've got Chibike on the line. Chibike, hello.
Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon.
In as much as government is trying to make money, they should also consider the masses. Because there was a research I just came across one particular day. I saw that Nigeria is even one of the most difficult places to do business in the world. And that is not telling good about us. If Nigerians can, on their own, think out something to do, and governments will find a way or strategy to make sure that they collect money from them, many will not be coming into business. And that is why we will have many youths doing nothing. Why 1 million naira? If they say 100, 200,000 naira, it should be good for just a starter. Understand? For taking 1 million naira is too huge. So they should rethink. On the POS aspect, those people should disagree. If they allow it, it's already a law. And by the time they continue, they will increase it in the sense that they will not be able to pay. And many will back out of the business. So for me, I didn't support that. Thank you.
Thank you, GBK, for calling. If you just joined the show, you're listening to the Big Three on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Should local governments be charging POS agents levies? Should NIPOST be regulating its fellow logistics operators? These are the two stories we've covered so far. I told you that NIPOST announced new licensing fees for logistics operators, right? So for a municipal license, a license that allows you to operate in one local government area. So if you want to operate only in Alimosho local government area, you have to pay 1 million naira. If you want to operate across the whole of Lagos State, you have to pay 2 million naira for the license fee. Then if you want to operate regionally, so you want to be able to deliver things all over the Southwest, 5 million naira. If you want to be able to deliver things all across Nigeria, 10 million naira. Right? No, sorry. Yeah, 10 million naira. And then internationally, if you want to be able to deliver things internationally, you need a license that costs 20 million naira. Now, yearly renewal of these licenses is 40%. So for local government is 400,000, for state is 800,000, for regional 2 million, national 4 million, and international 8 million. So yeah, people in that business, in the logistics business, logistics operators, they're not happy about this. I've got Emmanuel on the line. Hello, Emmanuel.
Yes, hello.
Thanks for calling.
Hello.
Yes, hello, Emmanuel. Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. For me, I think Nigerian.
Hello,
Sandra,
Emmanuel?
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead. I can hear you very clearly, very loudly. Go ahead.
Oh.
Yes, so you think that for you, Nigeria what?
Nigerians are being taxed multiply. Like we've been, this is a multiple taxation for Nigerians. I think the government is not doing us any good. I see from the point of the social contract we have with the government.
Okay.
It's one thing for citizens to pay taxes, and the other thing for us to see the benefit of those taxes that we pay to our government. Look at the case of this lady. I can tell you she had already paid taxes to even start up that business in that location. The bank that perhaps sold that POS machine or the service provider would have also charged her for buying that POS machine.
Yeah, she mentioned that.
And you can see multiple taxation. And then who bears the brunt? The consumer, the people that go there to get these services. And I feel it's getting out of hand. This government should think of how to give them value for the taxes that we pay. People pay taxes, and even the road we commute to work is not looking any good. Come around here, Joe, and you weep for this country. It's too much, really. I feel bad even each time I discuss about this topic, I really feel bad.
Emmanuel, thank you for calling us. We've got Wisdom Promoter who says this is insanity. I mean, this is just basic madness. Levy for what? All right, I've got more messages here. Dr. Awatunde from Agbara, Lagos says Tina Taiwo and her POS operators have gotten it wrong by agreeing with the LCDA for a fee in the first place, because a kobo agreed to be paid will come back to their customers as increased commission. Back to the government officials, they are indeed insensitive and wicked to the consumers, the downtrodden, that are using this POS as an alternative to crowding the banking halls and ATM machines. It's a no from me. Thank you. All right. Hello, Sandra. Nigerians are simple-minded to a fault. This is the only nation in the world that likes talking more than they like action. It's ostensibly clear that the government has absolutely nothing to offer us. The same youth that the government is exploiting are the same youth that will go out to vote when the time comes, believing that they can change things through voting, just the way that they've been deceiving us. As Nigerian government can never change, we also should stop voting, not for a particular party, but for all of them. As for me, I have nothing to regret since I refuse to elect those that I know would afflict me. If we cannot revolt, at least we are accountable to the action taken by our thumbs during elections. Our government is a total failure. I can say it anywhere. Shagun Omoni from Ogun State says. All right, Shagun, thanks for sending your message, but I don't think not voting is the answer. Maybe somebody who is listening disagrees with you. Hello, Sandra. Why all these hike in taxes and licenses? Why is it coming in this hard time in the life of average Nigerians? Why are our leaders so insensitive to the plight of average Nigerians in this hard time? Can't they wait for the pandemic's effect on the masses to be over before bringing all these hardships on them? How then do they expect youth and fresh graduates to go into businesses when the cost of establishing is on the high side? Multiple taxation will not help anyone, Femi from Agbara says. We've got a message from Emmanuel who says local government can enact a rule requiring sales tax for all vendors, although the sales tax has to be reasonable. Okay, we've got more messages here. Okay. Please, not too much profit on this business of POS. I wonder how they're going to cope by paying 600 naira to local government. Please, I disagree. Jude from Alagbado says. All right, let me go to WhatsApp. Let me go to Facebook, because the comments I've been taking have been from WhatsApp. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. Godwin Ode says it's disappointing to see the people whom we elect to represent us be the same people oppressing us. First is tax on rental issue, and now this. Simeon Benga says, you see our government, is it a curse for them to oppress Nigerians? Any work that the youth are coming up with, they try to truncate. Why all these useless oppression? Agbeko Edgard says, there are things government cannot control in Lagos State. When it comes to personal issues like housing, private schools, and co. Some tenants spent over 2 to 3 years in a house with no pay. Is the government ready to help landlords to prosecute the man at fault without collecting cash? So sad. It's happening every day. Landlords are crying. Are you talking about anything I'm talking about on this show? Ajayi Olabode says, I believe government at all levels should cut down on the cost of governance. What happened to all the humongous amounts generated so far? I think it's high time they rendered accounts to us. Already there's a trust deficit on the part of the government, which makes people frown at any policy, no matter the intention. All right. Well, speaking of policies, our third story is the Third Mainland Bridge. Today is the first Monday since it closed for repairs. So in a way, it's the first real test of what the traffic situation is going to be for the next few months. So for this story, you're going to do most of the talking. You're the ones who are having to cross the mainland to the island and back, right? So you know where the shoe pinches. I live and I work on the island, so I don't touch the Third Mainland Bridge. But first of all, before you call me, let me tell you what Governor Sanwo-Olu is saying, right? He's asking Lagosians for patience. This is unavoidable, he says. The bridge must be maintained, and this is the only safe way to do it. Last, nobody wants the bridge to collapse, so this beats the alternatives. The governor also said that LASMA and other officials are going to be mobilized to handle the traffic fallout. And I want to know if that's been true so far. So when you call, one of the things that you're going to tell me is whether you moved around or near the bridge, and when you did you see a lot of traffic control? Was it more than usual? Was it just about the same? Was there no traffic control whatsoever? Because that traffic control is essential. We all know how impatient Lagosians are on the road. And if they don't see anybody, if they don't see enough people controlling the traffic, they start to feel like if they don't put head and be bold, they're not going to move. And that's when people stop obeying the rules. And the situation gets worse. Governor Sanwo-Olu also said the state is going to be working hard to finish up Echo Bridge and other bridges and roads around Third Mainland Bridge to improve the flow of traffic to the alternative routes. And this is the one that seems to have upset quite a few people. The question I keep hearing is, and it's a fair question, why wasn't this done in the last few months? Since the government knew that the federal government would close the Third Mainland Bridge. Why wait until Third Mainland is already closed to start working on the alternatives? So again, when you call, tell me about the state of the alternative routes when you use them today or over the weekend. Which ones were fit for driving? Which ones were not fit for driving? Oh, and speaking of alternative routes that are blocked, we also have trucks blocking the roads. LASMA says trucks trying to access Apapa Port are blocking the road at Ijora, Olopa and Costain. And it's making it hard to access Eko and Carter Bridge. And again, the question is, did we not know that these trucks were there? And by the way, remember that the governor said that that area would be decongested within 90 days of his first term. Tomorrow will make it 1 year and 2 months since he took office. And apparently, the trucks are still there. And now they're blocking alternative routes at a time when Third Mainland Bridge is partially closed. We've got Ade on the line. Hello, Ade. Thanks for calling.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ade. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I want to speak about the second issue, about the POSs.
Yes, go ahead. That's the first issue.
Yeah, I want to see the Nigerian youth on the streets about this thing because our government, I don't know what is wrong with them. Because
why the youth? Why not everybody? Why just the youth?
This it concerns most youth, most of the youth. It concerns because since the lockdown now, all our children, all our sons and daughters in the house. Just last month now, one of my daughters just got to work in a POS business. If they bring this thing again now, that means all these things, they will just, our sons and daughters will not have work again. I want the youth, Nigerian youth to wake up now and protest against this thing. It's nonsense. It's not good. They should come out and protest against it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. But this is not a policy that affects all Nigerian youths, just the one in that LCDA in Alimosho, right? In Agbado. Those are the only ones it affects for now. 99.3.
Yes, my name is Victor.
Victor, welcome. Go ahead.
All right, I was going to say about the, what's it called, the 9%.
Yes, go ahead.
I think it's, the question I wanted to ask is 9% a ministry in Nigeria? Because the last time I checked, I think ministries are those who are responsible for giving policy.
Well, they are a regulator.
Are they a regulator?
Yes, they are the regulators for logistics operators.
Sorry, it's like saying, what's it called? Nitel
is a regulator for telecoms. Well,
no, NCC is the regulator, not Nitel.
I know. I know.
So on this basis, I think the government we are joking. I mean, it's sad. I don't say what I want to say, but let me keep it. It's really sad. It's really sad.
Thank you for not saying it.
Okay, let me say it. I never advocate leaving this country. I never advocate it.
Okay.
When people say I want to travel out, I try to discourage them.
Okay.
But at this point, I tell whoever wants to travel, if you can get a citizenship anywhere, go ahead and make it happen. I think we're joking here. We are joking. For someone to wake up tomorrow and say, I'm putting policies on. Who does that? Who does that? What? It's when I saw it the other day, and I saw it on Twitter. I think last week Friday or Thursday, and I heard the Minister of Communication. Is it Patani or what's his name?
Mr. Patami, yes.
Yeah, Mr. Patami. I heard he came on Twitter and said and spoke against. He instructed NIPOS to take it off. But I'm surprised that even after that, it's not official. We are not hearing that it's been enforced.
Well, it happened over the weekend, so maybe by the end of the week, we'll hear more about that particular situation. But thanks for calling me, Victor. We've got Chooks on the line. Hello, Chooks.
Hi, One of Radio. I greet you.
I greet you too, Chooks. Thanks for calling.
Yes, Sandra, the first thing for the POS issues, stamp duty belongs to the federal government, correct? And I'm sure all those adverts and the like belongs to the state government, correct? So which means for a POS operator, the person will be charged by the federal government, by the state government, and by the local government. That is one. Then two, on the NITEL issue, on the NIPOST issue, they are just being mentally lazy, intellectually bankrupt. Because how can you be regulating, just like you're a referee in the match, a Nigerian man, a Nigerian refereeing the match between Nigeria and Ghana, of course you'll be biased. And do you honestly think if an average youth has 1 million naira, they will go and get that license? They can channel that money to other useful businesses. And for the state government that didn't do what they're supposed to do at the right time, I wanted to go to the island yesterday. Of course, give it to them. There were a lot of policemen on the road. But I had to turn back. From stadium, I had to turn back. It was hell. And in turning back, I had to pay those Agberu and those Lagos State Corp people. I had to pay them to turn back. So it's just one hell. You see, Sandra, guess what?
What?
Our people, we are in bed with our oppressors. Until it gets to this level when an average Nigerian cannot eat. But so long as we can still manage and eat, Sandra, we will still come to radio. Some people will foolishly defend this government. Some will foolishly defend the policy because they are still getting something to eat. The day an average Nigeria cannot even get food from the dustbin, that day we will know that Nigeria must change for all of us. God bless you. You are doing a fantastic job. Thank you.
Thank you, Jukes, for calling me. By the way, this conversation about NIPOST we're going to have again tomorrow on the Big Three. We'll make it a Big Three in one. I'm going to have guests on the show. One of them is a logistics logistics operator. The other person is a public policy person. And so they're going to help us look at this policy, this particular policy, right? Look at it in total. And then we'll decide yet again if this is a step in the right direction or if this is just complete madness. And tomorrow, I'm also going to be talking to somebody from the federal government, because remember last week I brought you the story of PAGMI that allows for individuals to be able to mine gold and sell to the federal government. It's a new federal government initiative. Now, I'm going to have the president's special assistant on digital and new media on the show tomorrow at 5, talking about PAGMI, explaining what it is, explaining who is eligible, explaining how PAGMI is different from what the people in the Niger Delta are doing, explaining what legal frameworks within which PAGMI exists, explaining all kinds of things. So tomorrow, Todo Gunlesi will be here with me on Hard Facts at 5 p.m. Make sure that you set an alarm so that you can listen to that interview. And then, of course, if you miss it, you can always catch up on our podcast. Hard Facts now has a podcast. It's available on most of your podcast streaming services, Google, Spotify, Apple, Anchor FM. So just search for Hard Facts with Sandra Ezekwesili. If you're not sure where exactly you can find it, do a Google search, Hard Facts Podcast with Sandra Ezekwesili. And you can listen to previous episodes, previous interviews, as well as the interview that I'll have tomorrow with Todo Gunlesi, who is President's Special Assistant on digital media. Today at 5, I'm going to be talking to the spokesperson for JAMB. So if you're a student, please make sure you're still listening by the time we have that conversation. If you're a student, if you're a parent, if you are about to write JAMB, if you have questions about JAMB and how JAMB is still jamming in 2020 when there's COVID-19, please make sure you're listening at that time, 5 p.m. today. If you miss it, you can still catch up using our podcast, Hard Facts with Sandra Ezekwesili. Let's talk about traffic robberies. Chukwudi Ezugwu will be here in a few seconds talking to you about traffic robberies. Now that Third Mainland Bridge is closed, it's probably going to become a thing, a worse thing again, because more and more Lagosians will be in traffic. And that's prime real estate for traffic robbers. What's the Lagos State government doing to ensure that you are safe? I'm Sandra Ezekwesili.